combat is a lot more than just to hit rolls and parrying. Mythras acknowledges this and adds a certain degree of realism to combat by introducing combat special effects. To gain a complete understanding of Mythras Combat, you might want to check out my previous videos about the basics of combat and also attacking and parrying. Links are in the description. When opponents clash in combat, participants roll their fighting skills to see whether or not they hit or parry. These are differential rolls. We looked at this type of roll in the attacking and parrying video, so nip back and have a look if you need a refresher. When differential rolls are compared, the difference in success levels allows one of the participants to gain one or more special effects. The number of effects they gain is indicated by the table on page 51, but it's quite easy to work out. For example, if there is one level of difference, so one person is successful and the other person fails, then you will gain one special combat effect. It's also worth remembering that certain special effects are limited to particular weapon types or require a critical success or fumble result. If you are lucky enough to gain 2 special combat effects, then you can use any combinations that meet the prerequisites. So for example, if you manage to get a critical hit and 2 combat specials, then you can use 2 criticals, a critical and a standard, or 2 standards. You can even use the same combat special twice, so you could roll and do maximum damage twice. You can find the full list of combat specials on page 100 of the core rulebook, but here are some of my favourites. For those stabbing weapons, I like impale. This allows you to roll your damage twice and take the highest roll. The weapon is then stuck in the opponent and they will find skill checks harder. You can, if you wish, use a successful brawn roll to yank the stabby weapon out and you will do half as much damage as it gets pulled out. Nice. And if you are fighting against heavily armoured opponents and you have an axe or a 2-handed weapon, then sunder is the way to go. This will allow you to damage and break the opponent's armour. But if you are a fan of those bludgeoning weapons and shield, then don't you worry, because there are some lovely combat specials for you. You can either bash or stun location, the latter actually stunning the location that you hit, making it unusable for combat. Now, if you are an archer or prefer some missile or ranged combat, then you will love rapid reload. This allows you to reduce the time of your reload, making it so you can fire those arrows out a lot quicker. And finally, we have press advantage and compel surrender. Press advantage allows you to rain down blows onto your foe, meaning that they can only parry or take defensive actions, while compel surrender, well, it does what it says on the tin. As both a player and a GM, I recommend that you take some time to become familiar with the combat specials at your disposal. When used properly, they can not only add to the narrative of the combat, but they can make your combat style extremely effective. And if you would like to see an example of Mythras Combat, including combat specials, then watch this video next.